Real Action is brought to you by Pertec, with 103 service and supply centres around Australia for all your hydraulic and industrial hose requirements. G'day, welcome to Real Action. Michael Guest. I've got my mate Andrew Gray with me here today, and it is cold. 3 degrees we saw.
Yeah.
There wasn't too many people at the boat ramp.
Cuts right through you.
Absolutely cuts through you. That westerly wind coming off. It's winter time, and winter time for me, I grew up catching one of my favourite fish, and that's Tailor. And we're going to cast some surface lures. Got one rigged. Gray's got one on there as well. We've got a few
soft plastics.
Always chance of a mulloway around the washes as well.
They hang together, don't they? So
they certainly do. You're a mad keen diver. You see them swimming around in big groups at times, mulloway, and then above those sit the Tailor. It's a bit of an ecosystem thing.
Yep.
But
coexist.
They do, don't they? We'll start at the top and work our way down, see what we can't find, but it's just a cracking morning, I've got to tell you. But hey, here's all these people not at the boat ramp this morning.
No, they're all sleeping in.
Hey, they need to get a
tucked
big
into
jacket.
Their doonas.
Oh, that's it.
Probably where we should
100%.
be.
Exactly, but we're going to have a crack at a Tailor first. Got in there, Gray.
Finally got one, mate.
Yeah, it's been a little bit...
Been tough.
It's a little bit tough. Very calm conditions at the moment. So just trying to find where that wash is and get right up the back there. So I think he's only a little fella, this one, by the feeling. Oh no, he's not too bad. See if we can swing him up and around this way. It's a bit better than I thought, actually. We changed over to a metal lure. We're using topwater lures, but just trying to find where they are and obviously keep the boat a safe distance away from that washy area. I tell you, that's a... Oh, I thought you had more.
I do now.
It's hard to get a good deckhand. I thought I'll just do one of those little sort of flick backs and give you my rod, and that didn't work out real well there, mate. But anyway.
That's a nice little fish, mate.
Yeah, for sure. They're a cool thing, called bluefish in the United States of America, but here in Australia we call them Tailor, and they're just a real bread and butter species that I grew up catching, mainly on pilchards and gang hooks, and then got into the lures. But it's a cool way to prospect big headlands like this. And they're in quite a broad area when you think Fraser Island, right down the east coast, and then up the west coast. They get some massive ones on the west coast, up around that sort of 90 centimetre and even a metre mark. But it's a nice way to start. Off you go, bud. Go on. Yep. Oh, yeah, got him. Woo. All right. Oh, feels like a better fish, that one too. Yeah, I think so. That was on the topwater lure, and we're mixing it up a bit between topwater and some metals as well. We've got a helicopter buzzing around at the moment that's making a heap of noise, but it's always cool when you can see them just blast that lure off the top. It's pretty cool. So I got one here. I'll see him in a minute. Yeah, such good fun to catch, and as I said before, it's so calm. They're tucked right up in the bubbles at the moment, right up in the wash. All right, mate, get the net under him there. All right, in here, Gray. So that's the lure that did the damage that time. So it looks like a bait fish just sort of fleeing across the surface, and he's come and crash tackled it. But there was a few blowing up there, and I guess birds and bait getting sprayed around are a key sign that Tailor are not too far away.
For the birds.
Yeah, look for the birds, and keep an eye on the sounder too, because quite often you'll see wherever the Tailor are chopping up, you'll get big bream, even snapper on these sandy areas, and mulloway will sit underneath the feeding school. So it's worthwhile to have a bit of a look and have something ready to go to drop straight down too.
Exactly.
Staying safer on the water is now even easier thanks to the Marine Rescue New South Wales app. Log on and off via the app, and Marine Rescue New South Wales volunteers will keep watch for your safe return. Choose the tracking option so they know where to start searching in an emergency.
The free app also has a host of new features including weather alerts, maps with fishing spots, boat ramps and more. Search for Marine Rescue in the App Store or Google Play and download the app today.
We found a few tailor just at the entrance to this bit of a gully that runs back in, just in the bubbles here. So I'm just going to go and sit off it. So instead of drifting away and then casting back in, we'll just park here on the electric and see if we can get in a good position. But it's like there's a bit of a wash that breaks on the bommy there, and then they're just sitting underneath those bubbles, underneath that sort of washy area. So I reckon about here somewhere. And then we can cast right up the back there as well. It's funny, we were only talking about it a minute ago and saying if you're fishing off the rocks, you're trying to cast as far out here as you can, and in the boat we're trying to get in as close as we can there. It's funny how the world works. All right, and I reckon that'll do us. Oh! Wow, there's a bite. Gee, that hit me like a train, that one there. Great fun on this tackle. It's just that PE, what we call PE 1 to 2, 10 to 20 pound. It's a rod that I use for chasing snapper on soft plastics, so fantastic for that too. And 4,000 size spin reels and 20 pound braid and that right amount of leader, and whether you're going to throw chrome lures or top water, it's just a great outfit for chasing. This one might be a bit better actually. I thought that was a slightly better fish, but I think he's come flying past, and I've actually hooked him in the back there a little bit, but that's all right. It's actually still a good size one, that's for sure. So that, and it shows you why you've got to stay tight or keep tension when you're fishing. That hook's just fallen straight out of that tailor, and that's certainly a nice size one. Got hold of a net. They love doing that, these tailor. Oh, he's a slightly better size one again. I've caught them here like quite substantial in size, up around that sort of 70 to 80 centimetres, and I've heard of them even bigger. So it's a pretty cool place, and you never know, that big one might be just around the corner, but having a lot of fun catching them this size at the moment. Off you go, bud. We're in the big boat today, the 7600, but obviously swell's coming that direction. You've got to sort of work as a team when you're around these rocky areas. So I'm just going to reverse Andrew. We call him Grey, so we'll just stick with Grey. And he's going a bit grey as well, so the name suits at the moment. Well, he's giving me a filthy look in the background, but anyway, I'm just going to reverse back in, nice and steady, but you've got to really pay attention to what's going on out this way. Nice and deep water here, so deep water, no bombies to be worried about. There's some up that way, but still it's so easy to end up getting pushed onto the rocks. So I'll just reverse this around. We were going to use the electric motor here to park us, but it's a little bit sketchy, this spot, so I'll just look out this way. Right, Gray, fire a cast in, mate.
Finally got a hit.
You got him, mate?
Let's try and keep his head down so he doesn't jump.
They love jumping, don't they, Tailor?
Yeah, very acrobatic. Looks like not a bad fish. Oh, here he comes.
Hey,
the net under him.
Oh, I reckon you've got me there. That's it. Whoa!
Oh, yes. Yes. That's a better one.
That's a greenback. That's what we call a greenback. When I grew up as a kid, I chased these with my dad, and give me. Oh, I'll hold your rod. Not like you just threw my rod away, but you're right. Put that out of there.
Yeah, fingers away from his teeth.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So they've got razor sharp teeth. Their fins are pretty good. Nice soft fins especially for kids to handle. But this is 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, and if we do this, and see if you'll bite down on that there, and you'll see what will happen if we rub that up and down. You can see that's just about gone through already, and I reckon that. There you go, straight through. So
razor sharp.
Razor sharp. So you've got to up your leader size a little bit at times for tailor, or even use a little bit of wire. Some people use wire traces. Not a fan of wire traces so much, but a little bit of single strand wire certainly works well. But hey, that's the next size up.
I told you I'd get the biggest one.
Well, day's not finished yet, mate.
Yeah.
We'll keep working at
Let's
him
cast
anyway.
some lures, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Ready to go? See you later, buddy. Oh, he's gone. Run again.
Go, mate. Better one?
He feels okay, about the same size.
About the same size?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there he is there, zipping around. They are busy. You do a lot of
speedsters.
You do a lot of diving. When you see them, they just seem to be always motoring around. Not often they're just sitting there doing nothing, is there, really?
No, they're like little bullets underwater.
They are, aren't they? See if I can just swing him straight up for you, mate. Little bullets. Yeah, little bullet. I'll swing him straight in. And what we did do with this one, with this lure, I should say, is to put a single on there. So that's what we call a plugging single. I think, hang on to that for a sec, Gray. Pretty sure I was going to swap another one out, and I did. I sat the pack there. So that's them. They're pretty cool. So if you're new to fishing, or sometimes it's even a better hookup rate than a treble anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll just spear him back in. So what we did is took the treble off this metal lure, and then we've gone to that single hook. So all the pressure when you get the bite is on that one hook, and it's easier on the fish too. And Tailor are one of those fish that will throw their heads around. I have had trebles slammed into my hand before from Tailor, and so that's a pretty cool thing to do, and you can just simply change those over, and then you've just got that one hook.
Very effective.
All right, mate, we might go that way, eh? Oh, got him.
Nice work.
Whack.
They're liking this corner.
Yeah. On the sand, but out a fair way. That's why I stayed out a bit wider that time, Gray, because I reckon the fish are hanging. Looked on the sounder, you can see them sort of sitting on the sand there. So rather than going right in close, stayed a little bit further away that time, and he has just jumped on it. Hey, quality fish. That's a
Oh, he's a bit better.
anyone. Oh, sorry, Tailor. Another quality one right there. He's just come off the lure. Just saying to Gray, we marked a few on the sounder out a bit deeper here, and we could actually see them. The water's so clear. So rather than going right in and casting in the wash, actually getting the bites out on the sand now, which is a little bit different. They sort of come out of the bubbles and sitting out wider here. Maybe there's a bit of bait running around, but we could see them there. So just staying that bit wider. And the great thing with the crane lures, you know, they've got a bit of weight about them, so you can follow them a long way anyway. You can sit a bit further away, and also good when you're land-based, casting the other way. So off you go, bud. Got him?
Yeah, way over that reef.
That's the go.
Righto. It was a good fight bringing him in. Trying to get him into this net. Here we go. There we go. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy with that.
Have a look at your fish first, but have a look at the backdrop behind us here. This is just an amazing looking place. Incredible. Fish is a bonus. It's just,
Yeah.
There's whales breaching actually there's one right there. There's a whale right there. It's that season, so if you're going to have an early start in your boat, and I know this is quite a big boat, this one here, but you do not want to hit a whale, so it's nice and steady. We had an early start at the boat ramp this morning. There was hardly anyone around, was there?
It was very quiet. A couple of boats, that's it.
Yeah, no coffee. I couldn't believe I didn't get a coffee this morning.
That doesn't worry me, mate.
I know, you don't drink
I'm a tea
coffee.
drinker.
I knew this. Yeah, well, tea's all right. I drink tea as well. But I'd say an absolute incredible place this is. And as we said, a fish is a bonus. And that's actually, I'll leave that in there for a second.
Isn't he?
Well, that's it. That's that single hook. Well, we changed that over. We showed that before. And another nice fish. We'll just keep working our way around. Oh, there's another whale that's popped up here now. We're always looking for fish when we're out and about. But we're just sitting here nice and calmly, and there are so many whales around now, and you're not allowed to approach them, but this one just swam straight past us. We were just sitting there, boom, up it came, and there it is on the side scan. Look at that, amazing. That was interesting. We saw some on the sounder, and Gray's dropped his metal jig straight down, and
Took it right next to the boat.
right next to the boat. Oh,
You ready to
good job, yeah. Oh, that's a better fish, mate.
Better fish?
Absolutely. Oh.
Oh, yes, look at
That's a
that.
good one. Look at that.
He's chunky.
He is a solid one, that one. Hold him up. Obviously been in what we call a good paddock, that one. I've been feeding on lots of bait fish. Really thick through that way, isn't it, that fish? Real heavy fish.
And if you were to eat one, I reckon this is a pretty good size.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's fat.
Yeah, and if you're going to eat Tailor, they're one of those fish you do definitely got to dispatch, so make sure you bleed them, get them on the ice, and they're really good fresh.
Yep.
They're not a fish that I'd freeze, quite a soft flesh fish, but I grew up eating them. When I was a kid, that's what we did. We went Tailor fishing, and I've eaten truckloads of them. They're really good. But we've been letting them go today. We're going to let this fella go as well. But yeah, he'd be a perfect size to eat that one there. The skin's really good on them too. Some fish scale them and leave the skin on.
They've got good oils.
Yeah, definitely good for you, Tailor, for sure. Well, there you go. There's a couple of quality Tailor out of the wash. We've had a bit of fun doing that, haven't we?
Oh, it was awesome fun.
Mate, it's time to go back and get a bit of lunch. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more real action coming up after the break. I'm on my own on the PWC, and I'm going to try and catch a marlin off it. Can you believe that?
Let's hope so.
Don't go anywhere. Time for some fast fishing. It's a cracking day on the water. It's just me on my own, and one thing I've wanted to do is catch a marlin off the PWC, and there's a fair few what we call inshore blacks, so those small black marlin zipping around up and down. So it's just a matter of collecting some bait, slimy mackerel, yellowtail, and I'm going to slow troll them around the bait schools and see if I can't get one. It'll be pretty cool, I've got to tell you. It'll be exciting to see a small black jumping around this machine, that's for sure. Wow, that's the way to start the day. A couple of big slimy mackerel. I'm using the chili bin or the esky at the back as my live bait tank. Look at that one, that's a beauty. And any pelagics, whether it be a kingfisher or a marlin, doesn't matter what it is, cobia, mackerel, they're gonna love that. First things first, I need to rig a bait, so, wrong hatch. I've turned this into my live bait tank, and there's one of the slimy mackerels I caught. I've got what we call a crochet needle here. So just in front of the eyes of that slimy mackerel, got a 20-pound loop just there, that 20-pound loop, which I'm going to pull through and do what we call bridle rig this slimy mackerel. If I pull that back through, come on bud. So that loop comes just back in front of the eyes. I'll sit that down there. And that loop then, what we want to do is run that 9.0 chemically sharpened circle hook. They're tournament legal hooks, these two. Fantastic hooks when it comes to marlin fishing, especially catch and release. You definitely want to fish circle hooks. And we twist it around a couple of times, and that right there, that's a marlin bait ready to go. So I'll just pop him out, straight in the drink there. Whoop, he's in, he's keen to go. Oh, he's off. There you go, he's taken off. So we're gonna let that run out. He's gone to the front of the PWC, but I'll turn that around. And I'm gonna troll with it in free spool, but I'll hang on to it, but I'll back that drag right off. So if we get a bite, and hopefully we do, what I want to do is have that in free spool, get the bite, let the marlin grab it and eat it, turn away, and then let it run with just a bit of tension on that, almost that free spool. And as it runs, I'll slowly do that drag up. As I do that drag up like that, that'll add tension. That circle hook will come around and lock in the corner of the jaw. It all sounds good. Let's see if we can do it. So a bit of an inquiry there. There we go. So just with that circle hook, it's just important to let that fish run away with that bait. And I'm just going to slowly ease the drag up. Just hasn't really taken off with it yet. There we go, starting to get some weight now. Just slowly ease that drag up. Just to get that tension. So important. It's not like using a J hook where you're going to set that hook and strike. Just want to load that fish up if we can. Yes, got him on. There he is with his head shaking out the back there now. Thrashing around at us. Come on, bud, just a small fish. Way, there he is. Come on, buddy. Oh, yeah, that's why you go marlin fishing. So the gear I'm using is a little bit different. This is a 3 to 5 kilo spin rod and a 6500 size spin reel. Got some 15, bird nearly hit my line. Some 15 kilo mono, some 60 pound leader and a chemically sharpened circle hook. That's the gear. Woo! Oh. Woo! There he is. Oh, there he goes, cracked him off. Yes! Woo-hoo! Had the leader. How's that? You've been watching Real Action. Michael Guest, all on my own today. I'll catch you next time. Bye now.
Real Action is proudly brought to you by the all-new Amarok, born from tough love. Look after your best mate with Hypro, pioneers in pet food.